Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I want to have a conversation with you guys about cancel culture. It is pretty considerable, just like how intense cancel culture has become, like how it is becoming. I want to talk specifically today about brands. I want to talk about brands that have been canceled. I want to sort of like analyze this a little bit, and I also want to address like the double standard that is present in a lot of these cases, because I feel like there definitely is a little bit of a inequality as to brands that get canceled and brands that don't get canceled and for how long. It's really interesting. So that's what this video is going to be about. So let's just get into it. I definitely feel like in this day and age, society has been taking part in so many wonderful movements, and a lot of things have gotten quite political. People really have a sense of wanting to be politically correct in everything that they do or say, and it speaks, I think, to a rise in awareness, a rise in visibility for a lot of issues. Definitely with social media, we are exposed to so many different people around the world, people that we usually would not even be able to interact with, but now, due to the rise of the internet and social media, we are able to really get an understanding of these issues. There's so many different people that are trying to be, I would say, politically correct. So many people are really getting a handle and getting a sense of the fact that actions and what you say have a tremendous impact on people that you might not even fathom. So it's really like wonderful that we're seeing all this, but this is kind of trickling down into the beauty community, into this makeup industry, right? So you see people all the time making terrible decisions and being terrible terrible representations of who they are, and brands do this too. Like, you have brands make certain judgment calls that are really unwise. You have brands show that they can be really blind to the world in general and to the impact of what they do or say on social media and how it might just affect certain people. You know, you have brands really being blind to that, and some brands are not ethical in some certain ways. Sometimes the representative or the face of a brand makes a really poor decision to say something or to show something on social media that people don't like. And I recently actually watched this video that Jen Loves Reviews did, in which she did her makeup with a whole bunch of really controversial brands that have been canceled by certain people, right? And what was really surprising to me is that I was watching that video and I thought that I kind of like had a sense of good brands and bad brands, and then I saw that video and I was like, half of these brands, like, I literally did not know that half of these brands like were like canceled by certain people, or that half of these brands had some problematic issue with them or their image or what had been said or what had been done. You know, like, I did not even know that so many of these brands were controversial, and I was like looking at my makeup collection and I'm like, what am I using? What am I promoting? This speaks a great deal about my ignorance and the fact that I need to be a little bit more informed about what I'm using and what I'm promoting. I think that I have a responsibility as a consumer and as somebody who produces videos, because even though I'm a micro influencer, I am talking to you guys. Like, I'm talking to you guys, I'm showing you guys products, I'm telling you guys what I think, and I'm advertising brands like all the time. Like, I advertise brands every time I do a tutorial, every time I do a get ready with me, every time I do a favorites video or declutter. Like, every time I talk about a product, I'm doing advertising for them. Of course, like, I'm not getting paid for it, but I'm literally promoting a brand, you know? So it's like, I don't want to be promoting anything bad, but then again, like, hasn't it gone a little bit too far? Like, it's just, I feel like that's a little bit insensitive to say, but like, it's interesting, like, just how many things that are like in our collections are being made by brands that are controversial. I am pretty sure that if you are somebody who's into makeup, who loves makeup, you have something in your collection that was created by a now controversial brand. And it kind of makes you think, like, how much does a brand have to do? Like, how many things does a brand have to do, or how little does a brand have to do in order to get canceled, in order to have people try and boycott the brand? Like, what does a brand have to do to reach that very negative status? I'm going to name drop a few brands that I sort of like have various opinions about, and these brands are definitely controversial. Some of these brands have been canceled by certain people, and some of these brands a lot of people really still like. I think that everybody already knows about Kat Von D. She came out and she said some really unintelligent things, to say the least, about vaccinations. The people that she surrounds herself with have had some really interesting backgrounds and have said some really interesting things, and Kat Von D herself has been accused of having anti-Semitic views. So Kat Von D herself, like, and her brand is very, very controversial. Virtually everybody on YouTube has canceled her brand. Some people still do reviews on the products from her brand, but she has been canceled, like hardcore. Like, people don't like her anymore. People don't like her products anymore. You see her products go on sale all the time at various stores, and I mean, you look at the sales page of a Sephora and you see Kat Von D like all the time. You know, like, Kat Von D has been canceled. People are done. And keep in mind, she has been accused of being an anti-Semitic, and she also made that thing about the vaccinations. So that's kind of the reason why she is canceled. Next, I want to talk about Jeffree Star Cosmetics. Now, Jeffree Star has said a whole bunch of vile things. He has represented himself in a way that's not positive whatsoever, and I have said several times that I'm not like, I don't approve of the way he talks to his fans. I feel like he does have a love for his fans, but at the same time, like, there are some accounts of him not saying like the nicest things to people who are hardcore fans, to people that really enjoy his content, to people that love his makeup. Like, he is not the nicest person in certain cases online, and he has said some really vile things. I am not in a position to forgive him. I am not in a position to basically like make many comments on the matter, because I am not necessarily a person of color. I can only say that I'm half Indian and that's it, but I can't forgive him, okay, because it's not my place. I can't say that I know what it's like to be affected by what he said. I don't think it's a good idea for anyone to say that. I think it's vile and I think it's disgusting. I hope that he has turned into a better version of himself. But then again, I don't know him personally. So there's that. So basically, his brand has been canceled by a multitude of different people for those specific reasons. I have one Jeffree Star item in my collection. It is one of his liquid lipsticks. It's a good liquid lipstick. It performs brilliantly. I just don't want to use it that often because of the controversy. I hesitate to say that I am like personally not going to use any of his products because I use that liquid lipstick, you know? But at the same time, like, I'm not necessarily interested in buying anything from his brand because of the controversy and the fact that I just want to make sure that I'm spending money on a brand that I actually like 100% really like and enjoy from here on out. That's why I really like spending money on indie brands, because I like what they're doing and I really love the products. So yes, that's kind of where I am. But Jeffree Star Cosmetics is a brand that people tend to have like different, very polarizing opinions of. Like, you have some people who have canceled Jeffree Star and who have still like decided to like buy some items from Jeffree Star, but that is of course their own money, that is their own business, okay? You have other people who have canceled him and who have decided not to purchase from him from here on out, and they're still doing that. And then you have people that are still using his product. So like, his brand is controversial, yes, but it's still doing like well. The quality of the products does seem to be pretty up there, and it still has a pretty strong customer base, you know. Now I want to introduce a theory for you guys that many of you might find unsavory, and a theory that may or may not be popular with a lot of you guys. I feel like it's easier to cancel a brand if the products aren't as good. Let's bring up Kat Von D, right? Kat Von D has been canceled by virtually everybody. I can definitely say that Kat Von D used to be the brand to buy. Everybody used to be obsessed with Kat Von D. She has been credited, and I feel rightly so, with coming out with a whole bunch of really amazing, possibly groundbreaking products at her peak. She came out with the Shade and Light face palette that everybody was obsessed with. She came out with a whole bunch of liquid lipsticks that were pretty good and still are pretty good formulas. She also came out with her liner that everybody really also enjoyed. In my opinion, I feel like her demise, like her controversial image sort of like did come about right around the time that her products started to decline. People started to like cancel her because of the vaccination thing, and people continue to keep on canceling her because of the fact that she has not come out with like a really groundbreaking, a really like amazing product in a very long time. Her color stories and her palettes are kind of boring. The products that she is coming out with are lackluster, to say the least. She has had some like interesting things, but like nothing really interesting. Nothing that was as interesting and as revolutionary, if you will, as the products that she came out with before. She is no longer cult status. Her products are no longer like that desirable, so I feel that that's like a key factor, a key reason that a lot of people are no longer buying from her because of the vaccination thing. Okay, I feel like that started the canceling thing with Kat Von D, but also I feel like no one's moving forward to buy anything right now, like say a year down the line, because of the fact that she has yet to come out with something that's really as interesting as she used to be. Does that make any sense? And let's just say Jeffree Star. Like, let's talk about Jeffree Star. I feel like a lot of the reason, like a big reason why he's not canceled completely by a whole bunch of people is because his products are good. Like, he has good stuff. Like, people continually put out positive reviews on most of the things that he has launched. And I feel that this is a reason why a whole bunch of people still buy from his brand, because yes, he is a controversial figure. Yes, he has done and said things that are questionable, that are insulting, that are really unsavory, to say the least. But his products are good, and I feel that that's the reason why a lot of people basically are in a way unable to resist the temptation to purchase his items, even though he is a controversial figure himself. Huda Beauty is another example of a brand that a lot of people canceled really quickly, but then people have sort of like not completely canceled Huda Beauty because I feel like her products are still good. She has amazing lashes, she has amazing face products, her palettes are really popular as well, and I feel that that's a reason why a lot of people find it very difficult to cancel Huda Beauty. Her whole reason for being canceled is not as poignant or is not as strong as some other brands, right? She did copy, for example, an indie brand, which a lot of people didn't like. She doesn't really seem to be that inclusive, so I feel like a lot of people don't really like that. But at the same time, not a lot of people are canceling Huda Beauty. I still like Huda Beauty's products. I haven't bought anything from her in a very long time, but I still use them, okay? Her situation is not as significant or not as poignant as some other brands, but I feel like a lot of people do find it difficult to cancel, for example, Huda Beauty because of the fact that she has come out with some pretty good products, or at the very least, some really unusual products. So she remains in the spotlight, I think, because of the fact that her quality seems to be good and her innovation seems to be pretty good as well. So that's kind of my theory. That's my question. Like, is it easier to cancel brands based on the monetary value of promoting a brand, based on the fact that you have a lot of FOMO sometimes? You don't want to miss out on a great product. But yes, I do want to say that Kat Von D's decline has a lot of reasons, not just because of the fact that she is anti-vax. You know, I feel like the reason that a lot of people are not buying her products anymore is because of the fact that her products simply are not as interesting. So it's easier to resist buying her makeup because of the fact that it's just not interesting to the majority of the people that used to purchase from her brand, you know? Because people used to purchase from her brand because she was a significant force of innovation. Because she would come out with things that were interesting, that were innovative and unusual, that not a lot of people were doing at the time. But now she's sort of lost that. So I feel like it's easier for people to cancel her and keep on canceling her because of that. I do want to say that this is just makeup. Like, this is all like surrounding makeup products and makeup companies. Yes, makeup does occasionally stretch to something greater. Makeup does affect other aspects of life that need to be recognized, that need to be taken notice of. But at the same time, like, we are literally here because we love makeup and we love playing with it, we love using it, we love wearing it. So I feel like it's important to realize that, and it's important to remember that, you know? In closing, you have your own personal freedom to do whatever you want with your hard-earned money. I'm not trying to influence you. Nobody else should be trying to influence you. A lot of these brands are doing really well. I don't think that they care whether one person or 10 people buy or not buy from their brand, you know? They're still going to be doing pretty great no matter what one person does. And I consider myself first and foremost a consumer. Yeah, I create videos, but it's not like any brand really cares what I think. So I feel like I'm a little bit liberated in that sense. Like, I can basically do whatever I want and brands don't care. So that's kind of my point with this video. If you have any response to whatever I said, please let me know down below and I will get back to you. But yes, that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it, found it informative and entertaining, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.